You're looking at obesity, you're not just talking about looks. You really are looking at health-related conditions. And I'm afraid to say my generation did a poor job of raising this generation in their health. Camp Jumpstart is a residential weight loss camp for kids. It really was started as a health camp, and that's because of what I saw as a registered nurse, where our future was going with children. When we're looking at obesity, we're looking at all sorts of problems, but my main one that I've looked at is type 2 diabetes. I looked at that and thought, that's the diabetes my grandparents had. So when they went blind or they had their legs amputated or they were put on kidney dialysis, we looked at that and said, well, it's because they're old. It has nothing to do about being old. It has to do with the condition itself. We're seeing kids who are 10 years old who are type 2 diabetics. I know what that path leads to. Kids don't have to have type 2 diabetes. It's preventable, and we can do something about it. So that's part of what the mission of Camp Jumpstart was, to create healthier individuals, but also parents and families and all the extended families. It is a grassroots effort because that's the only way we change the world.
My son Nick is 12 years old, and Nick made some big commitments, and one of those was to go down to having a dessert only once a week and try and eat less between meals. And he started out doing very well with that, and yet he would get on the scale and he wasn't losing weight. In fact, he was slowly gaining weight, and I think he got very frustrated with the fact that he wasn't succeeding. And as he got more frustrated, he just sort of gave up, and his allowance was being spent going down the street to the gas station on the corner to buy chips and soda that we didn't have at home. I was hearing from the school lunch program that he was going back for seconds at lunchtime, so he started making a lot of bad decisions. And I think he made the bad decisions because he felt like he was failing, and he had tried really hard and it didn't work for him. And I, as a busy pediatric endocrinologist, I see a lot of kids for obesity. I talk to a lot of families about how to control obesity, and I was mortified that I had a son at home and I was not able to help him to make these changes in his life.
At Camp Jumpstart, we have all sorts of programs so that they are planned, but kids don't know that. They just have fun. The best way to teach a child is through fun. And so they go to nutrition classes. They do go to shape-down classes, which is the emotional side of eating. But the rest of the day, they have fun. They go to the lake for canoes or barracudas. They don't realize that I've planned what day we're working on arms and what day we're working on legs, because barracudas are water bikes. They will swim. They will go hiking. They will go on mountain bikes. They go to nature center and arts and crafts. It is a fun day for them, but it is active. The summertime is when kids will gain the most weight. Most people thought it was at school. It is the summertime, and we need to change that so the kids are up and active and getting out and playing. That's part of the component. The other part is we do portion-controlled, healthy meals. The kids for the first week may miss some of that fast food, but they don't complain about the food. And in reality, they try new things, and they leave somewhat with different taste buds. And the best part is that they believe in themselves. They begin to realize that they like themselves better after being at camp, and that they're worthwhile and they're worth taking care of. And once you put all those components together, kids just blossom.
We had got to the point where our interactions were conflict. You did what, and you ate what, and what were you thinking? And that wasn't a healthy interaction. And so I looked into Camp Jumpstart. He wanted to go for 4 weeks. I told him he had to go for 8 because I thought it was really important to him that he make a huge life change, and I thought it would take that long to do it. He was pretty nervous about it. He went because he wanted to do what I asked him to do, and he had a fantastic time.
At Camp Jumpstart, I lost 24 pounds in the whole summer and 9 inches off my waist, which I thought was a really big improvement.
Kids are different than you and I. If we go on some fad diet for a couple weeks and we've lost a few pounds, we as older people say, okay, we're on the right road. A child lives for today. That's why they get into trouble. They don't see the consequences of tomorrow. That's why we're supposed to have people watching out for them. But if they've only lost a few pounds and they've exercised to the point of exhaustion and they are giving up all their favorite foods, that is a recipe for failure. And at the end of that few weeks, instead of saying, okay, I'm on the right road, they say, what? I got 48 more pounds to go. I can't do this. And then they go to the refrigerator and eat everything in it. We have to take control back. We have to show them what they need to do to be successful.
I think probably the biggest change for him is that he knows he can do this. It's not this impossible thing that I'm going to give up all these things and I'm still going to be fat. It's I can give up these things and I can look fantastic and I can feel fantastic and I can be proud of myself.
I learned how to make decisions that were better than the ones I used to make, that eating isn't the way to make you feel better.
I think that's what Camp Jumpstart gave him, is that he likes himself, and he's going to work to keep liking himself, and that part of that is taking care of his health.
If you think you've tried everything, you have not. Camp Jumpstart offers the opportunity for kids to take responsibility, to break that vicious cycle, and to put into place new habits so that they can continue on that road to health and happiness.